going forward to the next section, the integrated reasoning section. I'm doing it on the basis of the first order. I'm talking on the basis of the first order. The integrated reasoning section basically is what is very similar to the data and prediction and logical reasoning section. The only thing is GMAT mein it is slightly on the easier side than what you see in the CAT. So you've got 12 questions. In integrated reasoning, you've got 12 questions, and you've got 30 minutes to answer those questions. But it's slightly lengthy in that sense. It's not it's not. I mean, individual questions will have 3-4 components to check before you can mark a question. So it's like within a question there will be three parameters. So they'll give you a graph, for example. They'll give you a table, and then they'll say, "Ki, okay, true, false." And then there'll be 3 statements, 1, 2, and 3. So you find this true, you find that true, and you find this false. You have to mark each one of them. So TTF becomes the answer. If you get any one of these wrong, you'll get the whole question wrong. So key factors in integrated reasoning to be able to do, and GMAT, one of the things that is very critical is that speed is a very, very important element. If you are slow in your solving, if you're slow in your calculations, speed is a critical element of solving the GMAT. The problem is not so much in the questions. I mean, if you get, I think most people fail in the GMAT. Of course, people fail in the GMAT because they don't have ability to solve the 700 to 800 questions. That band of questions, higher difficulty questions, you can't solve it. That's one of the reasons why people fail in the GMAT. But the other reason why a lot of people fail is because they can solve even higher difficulty questions, but they can't solve it on time. So time is a critical element of the GMAT exam. Whether you talk about, specifically if you talk about integrated reasoning, AWA में उतना time का issue नहीं होता है. AWA में इतना time का issue नहीं होता है. AWA does not have time issue so much. But the other 2 sections, other 3 sections, integrated reasoning, it requires you to be pretty quick at your solving. And as I said, 12 questions, 30 minutes. And effectively, these 12 questions are 30 plus questions because individual questions will have 2-3 things to check or 2-3 parts to them. So you are effectively solving 30 plus questions when you're solving these 30 minutes in these 30 minutes. So the key part, the key problem in integrated reasoning, first of all, you need to understand how to read tables, how to analyze graphs, how to bring out data from multiple rows in reasoning, from multiple sources, and you need to understand all that, and you need to improve the quality of the reading of the questions. That's another reading of the text of the questions. That's another factor that you need to work on. And then finally, you need to work on calculation speeds, etc. So most of your integrated reasoning improvement is built on improving the quality of your reading, quality of your logic, and quality and speed of your calculations. So this is what will this thing. And one very key element of GMAT is which you need to understand is that any questions that you've not answered in the GMAT, they consider it to be wrong. So they'll give you a score. Suppose you do 30 minutes, and you have solved question in integrated reasoning. You have solved till question 8, and you have not done 9, 10, 11, 12. You have not reached 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you have not reached them, and your time gets over, then the GMAT considers that these went wrong for you. It will not consider that you did not solve them. It will assume that these went wrong for you. As simple as that. It will not think about कि तुम अगर करते तो सही होता है, इस 8 में तुम्हारा कितना सही हुआ, वो सब नहीं देखेगा. Suppose you got 6 of them right or 8, the GMAT will give you a band based on 6 out of 12. So this is actually quite this is actually what makes this exam difficult. One of the biggest myths I've seen about the GMAT is about the QA section, what they call as the quantitative reasoning section. And the myth here is that specifically a lot of people come to me saying कि हम CAT नहीं देंगे GMAT देंगे. क्यों GMAT देंगे? तो आंसर है not because you are trying to go GMAT has to be taken by somebody who's looking at joining a B school after some years of experience. So what happens is typically if you are in college or just out of college, the major exam for at least for Indian B school MBAs is CAT. Indian B schools is CAT. The GMAT you take if you are just in college or you are just outside college. The GMAT you take for young leaders programs, not just in ISB but also in other B schools across the world. A lot of B schools have young leaders programs. So you can actually use those, or you can actually build those in order to or apply to those through the GMAT. So your GMAT taking during college years or just out of college is because of this. Otherwise, the GMAT is an exam that you typically start considering at 3 years after your graduation. So 3 years after your graduation, as you keep going higher on the work ex cycle, you go to 7, 8 years of your work ex cycle. After that, the GMAT is the only exam that makes sense. CAT का sense कम होता जाता है. CAT sense kind of disappears after 5 years of your graduation, because CAT is mostly for a 2-year MBA, and once you have 5 years plus of experience, you would rather prefer to go to a 3-year MBA. 7, 8 के बाद तो completely GMAT हो जाता है. GMAT is the dominant exam, and you can see this from the acceptance at top B schools like Harvard, Stanford, etc., Kellogg's, etc. You will see that they accept minimum. I mean, if you don't have 3 to 4 years of experience, they don't even accept you. No matter how much you've got on a GMAT score, they'll not accept you. So the profile does not match your this thing at all.